What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we are going to do a double dip on two projects only. It's going to be Bitcoin and Kaspa, because both of these projects are giving us mixed signal and we don't know which way it's gonna go. Will it go up or will it go down? Will Bitcoin crash down and start a correction phase, or is it going to blow up to 50,000? We're going to discuss that. But first, we are going to flip the script and start out with the comments from the last video, because I've got to call out some awesome supporters who are worthy of being focused on first. Before I even get into the TA, I want to shout out South 97 North with the super chat of $5. Thank you so much, South 97 North. Then we've got Woodnut 86 in the house with a super thanks of $10. Yes, sir. Thank you so very much. And last but not least, we've got Samp 6318 with a super thanks of 35,000 IDR, which comes to about $2. Yes, thank you very much. Even $2 helps. I really appreciate you guys for the continued support. And man, oh man, I am ready to crank out videos and earn these super thanks that you guys have been sending to me. So I appreciate you so much. All right, let's see. Those are videos there. We want to go back to the chart, don't we? Okay, here we are back on the chart. And before we break down this chart, of course, we must first tell you that this is absolutely not financial advice. Because if you are one of the dodo birds that takes this as financial advice, you could end up as a homeless bum eating out of a bag that's taken from a garbage dumpster while living in a cardboard box. That's right. That's my stern warning to you. So you better watch out. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. So starting out on this Bitcoin chart, and this is going to be quick. We're not going to get too detailed here. We're looking at Bitcoin with a double top. Okay, this is very interesting. Here we have a top and then another top. And actually, you could call this currently a lower high. But look at the stochastic oscillators. They're shooting straight up in the air. And by the way, for the stochastic oscillators, somebody asked me, they wanted to know what the parameters were. Here it is right here. We've got Stoke 14, 3, 3, 80.24, 68.69 are the settings on my trading view chart. And I think I'm on logarithmic, I think. And I stick to this because it works for me and I can understand and interpret these chart movements with those parameters. So if we don't move up any higher, this is a lower high, barely. It looks like a bull flag here. If we just wanted to draw on some lines, we could make a bull flag out of this. There's the flagpole. And here is the flag. And so that means that if it did break to the upside, when you replace this pole and stick it up here, it would go to about 50,000. And there's a lot of people that are calling for 50,000. I'm going to say that it is possible, but I'm still going to stick with my guns and tell you that I'm thinking that this is a 50-50 shot, guys. So we're going to put a green arrow for the 50,000. And we're going to put a red arrow for correction and heading back down towards the target of 37,500, which is the first volume node. Just above 35,000 is the second one. And the third node is sitting here right at about 30,000. And we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. So if this stochastic heads to the peak and price doesn't move up, I'm thinking we're going to tank. But it could push up. And if we do get a higher high above this wick right there, then maybe we do surge to 50,000. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I'm going to vote against these people that are calling for 50,000. Two reasons. Number one, I'm not convinced. I don't know if the news is out just yet. I haven't checked. I don't think there's news on the ETF. And besides that, people usually buy the news and sell the rumor. And then when you look at this chart here, look at this chart. This is ugly. Okay, so we see a surge to this green line, which happens to be a fib line, fib retracement. I think it's the 0.386. And then we correct. And then we come back up and we hit it again. And it looks like we are not closing a one-day candle or a one-week candle above that line just yet. And what else do we see? We're already in the peak above the 80 line on the stochastic cycle. Now, will this roll over and head down, or is it going to stay upstairs? Okay, let's clear that. We could have this deal where it goes down and it comes back up again. We could get a double like that. That is very possible. And we do have a rising set of oscillators on the MACD that is lagging from the oscillator here with the stochastic, and it's still pointing up, and we only have a slight bend here in the fast line. So still, even with this chart, with the fact that we're already up here, this is a bearish indication with a bearish crossover right there. But this is bullish right here. And we are printing a solid green bar on this histogram. Do you see that solid green? It went from light green to solid green after we had this flip-flop going from green to red back to green. So we're going to have to keep this as a 50-50 shot. Okay, so let's just put that up here. 50-50. There we go. Time will only tell. I don't have the crystal ball, so I cannot make that call, and it would be dangerous for me to make that call because I don't want to influence you to do anything stupid. Okay? So that's Bitcoin. That's what Bitcoin is looking like. Let's flip back to Kaspa. Here we go. Kaspa is currently at 10.9 cents, and it's doing the same thing. We've got bearish and bullish indications. Well, let's add them up. Let's just look at each and talk about it. First of all, bearish indication, we are still in a downward trending parallel trading channel. That's where you just bounce up and down and you stay within the limits of a parallel trading channel. And we are entering into a slip zone on the VPVR, where we don't have a lot of buying and selling from the automated trading bots, from the institutional investors, and price usually gets snapped up to this big one or snapped down to this big one. So right now, since we are falling away from this big node and we are in a downward trending parallel trading channel, it looks like to me that we're headed towards this volume node, which happens to be at a price of about 8.7 cents. But there again, we've got some bullish indications. What are they? Well, first of all, the stochastic is still pointing up. We're coming out of this low point below the 20 line, trying to make our way back up here above the 80 line, perhaps for another surge up right here. That's kind of bullish. Another bullish indication is we are printing all light red bars on the MACD histogram, and the lagging oscillators look like they're close to a bottom point where there's a kink in the line on the fast line right there. See the fast line? There's a kink right there. Maybe it wants to curl over and start to come up. So that's a bullish indication. So we got some mixed signals happening. Now, it doesn't matter. Either way, I'm holding strong. If we surge out of here, hey, all the better. If we correct, even mo better, if I can say that, if mo better is a word, because then I'll be able to buy some more. I want to accumulate more Kaspa and add to my fat bag of 102,000. Now, let's flip to the 1 week chart and see what it says. The 1 week chart is bearish. Why? Well, let me give you some indications here. Number one, well, there is a slight green candle here, so that's kind of bullish, but the overall momentum is headed downwards, okay? And I'm thinking that we might catch this channel here. You know, the last video that I did where I told you about how the price action tends to jump up and down between these channels, and when it pokes out of the channel, it comes back to check in with the base of the channel. So here we had this bouncing around, and then we decided to just go vertical. But now it looks like we're quickly coming back down. And maybe we're going to come back within the channel and test the base of that channel, which would be a healthy move. And you got this big fat node that is attracting it like a tractor beam on Star Wars. And this node happens to be at 5 cents. And there have been people in the comments that say, no way, Jose, it ain't happening. We're never going to see 5, 6 cents again. Okay, and time will tell. You could be right. Maybe we don't. However, these indications on the stochastic are bearish. We have a double hump camel up here, several fake outs. There was a fake out of continued bullish action here, another fake out there, and now we're falling off the cliff, and the fast line is quickly falling away from the slow line. That's a bearish indication. We have another bearish indication on the 1 week chart coming right here, as the fast line has definitely kinked and fallen over, and it looks like it's trying to find the slow line, and maybe we get a crossover there. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. So I'm going to call this one 60% correction, 40% surge upwards from here. Now, there are some people that have a different opinion about which way the Kaspa action is going to go. And I want to recommend, if I can go back here and look at my comments. Let me just tap here because I forgot the name of his channel. He's a young man who has a really good channel. There it is right there. It's called the, let me pull this in so you can see the logo. Maybe I can slide this over. I can't get that in. There it goes. Here it is right here. It is the Crypto-Now or Never channel. Check him out. I just subscribed yesterday, and I really enjoy his content. He is a straight shooter. He does TA, chart reading, like I do, and he is bullish on Kaspa. Okay, so I want you to check him out. He's thinking that we're going to surge up from here. He's bullish on the Kaspa action. So check him out, and maybe he's right. He could be right. So jumping back to the chart here, let's stretch this back out. There we go. And we can clear the drawing mode so we can leave it on this nice clean chart. So let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to happen with this ugly Bitcoin chart? Are we going to have a final correction? Are we going to come back down off of this and head towards some of these bigger volume nodes, VPVR nodes at 37,000 and change and 30,000-ish? Or are we going to surge up to 50,000 up above at the top of this node cluster right here? And then on the Kaspa chart, do you think we're going to surge up from here and kind of kink this lovely little correction and just do a kind of a very severe bend and turn upwards? Or are we going to continue to correct and have a healthy correction? I would sure like to know what your opinion is. Well, whatever the case, I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And if you want to be in the Cool Kids Club, like the fantastic fellows that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you can do so with the giving of a super thanks. And I am going to start giving you some micro cap and small cap picks. I've got some gems that are getting heated up. I'm going to share those with you very soon. And we're going to look for a good correction across the board in the next, say, 90 days in the first quarter of 2024 so we can start loading up for the bull run. With that, I am going to get out of here. This is Carlton. I'm out.